Welcome to this particular class on project management, part 2, where we will discuss about the project design and network analysis. Second part, that is part project evaluation and review techniques. Just to recap, let us again recap about the facts about the CPM and PERT. So we had discussed in last lecture about the critical path method, where we discussed that this critical CPM was basically a deterministic task time based module, and the activity on network, on node network construction. When you construct network, the nodes were defined as 1 2 3 4, and the activities were defined just like 1 to 2. Repetitive nature of job means you could have you have option of repeating the job to know the exact time. The today's topic, project evaluation and review technique, that includes basically multiple task time estimates. That means it is not based on deterministic model, rather it is based on the probabilistic model. And the activity on in this project evaluation and review techniques are not basically activity on node network construction system. It is activity on arrow network construction system. That means activity is defined as an arrow, and usually it is non-repetitive type of job, means you do not have option to repeat it. Like when you are researching something, research and development, you cannot repeat a particular process. You can only have estimates about the process activity. When we talk about this project evaluation and review technique, it is based on the assumption that activity duration follows a probability distribution instead of being a single value. So you have the probability of getting success doing activity. So it may be that if a activity is there, so there is a probability that the best possible time within which you can complete this a activity is this, and the worst probable time you can do the activity is this. So likewise, you do have more than one time duration. Usually 3 time duration estimates are required to compute the parameters of an activity duration distribution, probability distribution. Pessimistic time, the time the activity would take if things did not go well, means under all odd conditions, everything goes wrong, then how much time the activity will take. That means the maximum time activity can take, that is defined as pessimistic time and usually represent by TP. Most likely time is TM, the consensus best estimate of the activity's duration. So the best possible, that means most of the time you will take this much time duration. And the best time is called as optimistic time. That means if everything goes well, if everything is perfectly as per your plan, so what is the least time, the minimum time, the optimistic time that this activity will take? So there are 3 types of times which are to be given in your problem, and by this problem you calculate the mean time. And to calculate the mean time, you have this formula. Pessimistic time is given 1 weightage, optimistic time is given 1 weightage, most likely time is given 4 weightage out of 6. So TP plus 4TM plus T0 upon 6 will give you the mean time. You need to calculate this mean time, because with this we will proceed with calculation of that, what is the probability of completing the project within the stipulated time period. And the variance which is calculated is Tp minus T0 upon 6 to the power whole square. This is the formula for variance. Now, how to analyze this, use this PERT method, that you must understand. As usual, you need to draw the network, and to draw the network you need again to analyze that what network path, different network paths and critical path means. Again, suppose there are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H activities, so the precedence of activity is also required, and then you draw the network diagram just like you draw in your CPM. There is no difference at all. Then you need to find the critical path. Now in this one, the method of finding critical path is same. That means wherever there is a slack equal to 0, that means the latest start time and latest finish time, if the difference is 0, so that would be considered as the critical activity, just like in CPM, and critical path, right? And the length of the critical path is usually the mean of the project duration probability distribution, which is assumed to be normal distribution. Probability distribution, normal distribution, we will take in the second part of this lecture. The standard deviation of the project duration probability distribution is computed by adding the variance of the critical activities, that means all of the activities that make up critical path, and taking up square root of the sum. Probability computation can now be made using the normal distribution. That means when you need to learn that this is the critical path, right? Now with that critical path, you need to use normal distribution curve to understand that what is the probability to complete this project in the stipulated time period. Say for example, someone says that okay, how much possibility is there to complete this project in 25 days, right? So 25 days are used for the calculation of normal distribution, and then probability is calculated. So we will also take an example and calculate the probability in second half. So how to calculate the probability computation? Determine the probability of the project is completed within a specified time. How to determine it? Now to understand this, you must calculate, you know that this z is equal to x minus mu upon phi. And now in this case, this formula where mu is basically project mean time, and then project standard mean time, and the proposed specified time x, and z is the probability. So z is basically a factor with which will reflect the percentage probability of completion of the project. We will take an example and then discuss about this. X is basically the time that if the problem says that what is the probability of calculating completing this project in 25 days, so x is 25 days, and TP is basically the mean time that we calculate, and we'll look at how to calculate mean time. We'll discuss. Normal distribution of the project time will be like this. So we'll take this example, take example to make you learn about this. So this will indicate that suppose you have given this is the mean time, and a normal distribution curve is plotted, and this, if x is the time duration within which you want to understand the probability of completion of the project, so this will equals to x minus mu, and that is what the formula is. And we will discuss this with example. Let us take this example. There are A and B activities which starts with the problem. The optimistic time is this, most likely is this, pessimistic is this, And likewise, I just clubbed it with the activities of precedence. C, D, E activities are following A activity. F and G activities are following, immediately after B and C activities. H and I activity is just after E and F activity. Z is just after D and H activity. So by using this precedence, you need to calculate, you need to draw a network, right, up to K. And by using this TO, TM and TP, you need to calculate the TE, the expected time, right? So by using that precedence, if we draw diagram, we will find that this diagram is like this. And keep this diagram aside, and when we will calculate that mean time of an A activity, how to calculate mean time? Mean time is equal to TP plus 4TM plus TO divided by 6. And that will be taken as a mean time for A activity. Similarly, B activity, C activity. For each activity, we need to calculate this expected time period, which is also mean time. So this time period calculation is based on the first formula that I had, TP plus 4TM plus TO upon 6. And you can get this formula, this time. Variance is again calculated from that formula, TP minus TO upon 6 to the power square, whole square. So this is quite easy to calculate. Now once you get this data, right, now you need to put this data on the each activity, that this A will take 6 minutes to complete, B will take 4 minutes to complete, estimated time. And this estimated time comes from all those 3 different time durations. And with this we will calculate these for each one. Say for example, I am just looking at A activity, the earliest start time 0 because it is the beginning. Earliest finish time is 6 because the estimate comes as a 6. And then latest finish is also 6. Likewise B, the earliest start time, you can say 4, and then latest start time. Now what is this latest start time? This is 5. Now from where this 5 comes, that you need to understand that the maximum time it may take. So look at, I'm just going back, and you need to understand that you need to look at this data. And with this you can easily calculate. You need to put this each earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. See, if you go forward moving, like in last forward calculation, forward moving, you will get this earliest start time and earliest finish time. That means you will get this, just a minute, you will get this data, first two. When you move forward in calculation of earliest start time and earliest finish time for each activity, right? Now when you move backward, that means if it is 23, right, then you look at that latest finish time will be 23 and latest start time would be 18. It will be automatically there. So there is no issue when you start backward calculation, right? Now, when you minus it for Z activity, for J activity, then obviously you can understand that since J activity, so latest start time for J activity would be 20, because you need to understand that for J activity, you need to learn the activity mean time. And with this activity mean time, K activity, which is having, that 5, so you can understand this difference 5. And since this activity is having 3 J, so when you minus 23, you will get 20. I's activity is having 5 mean time, so when you minus this 5 from 18, you will get this. And likewise, that means the backward calculation of latest start time and latest finish time, as we calculated in our critical path method, the last lecture. And then you can, in backward calculation, you can get this data very easily. And now you need to calculate the slack, difference between earliest finish time and latest finish time. And if this slack comes 0, so that 0 slack is basically the critical activities. And you can understand that A falls on critical path, C falls on critical path, F falls on critical path, I falls on critical path, and K falls on critical path. So you can understand that ACFI. So ACFI means your critical path would be like A, C, F, I and K. Look at this. This would be the critical path. So once you have known the critical path, then you can very easily calculate the variance of the critical path only, right? So variance for A, C, F, I, K. Look at this. A, C, F, I, K. 4 upon 9 plus 0 plus 1 upon 9 plus 1 plus 4 upon 9. It will come like 2. And then the square root of this will come 1.414. And then you apply this formula, like what is the probability of completing this project in 24 days, right? So 24 days and 23 was the mean time, if you remember, mean estimate time. And the probability of understanding that this X, you need to learn that what is the probability to complete this project in 24 days, what is the probability to complete this project in 30 days. So this you can understand. This is usually asked in question. So by putting this value, you will get 0.671. Now you need to look at the again log table. From standard normal distribution table, you can understand this 0.71 value, and this probability Z will be less than equals to 0.71. That means 0.5 plus 0.62612. Now why this 0.5 plus? Mid value, that mid value of the normal distribution is considered as a half, and then plus like this 0.2612, and that is added, so it comes as 0.7612. So it says that there is a probability of 76.12% that your project will complete in 24 days. If you change this data 24, 30, so this whole value will change. Again, you need to look at the normal distribution table, and with table, whatever value, this value comes, right? This 0.2612 value will change. And when you will add this value, then this probability will, and obviously when you increase the 24 to 30, this probability will be decreasing, sometime increasing if it is towards the exact mean value. So by this way, you can simply calculate your, you can use this project evaluation and review techniques. The more and more things that you can understand by practicing the examples, and more and more examples you can practice altogether. We are not in operations or production management where you need to, you know, study the full project analysis, network analysis, and design as a unit. We have only one subtopic of, you know, project formulation subtopic. So you need to understand this CPM and PERT as a part of your common sense and understanding, so that if sometime it comes, it becomes easy to understand the whole project formulation process, and you can check it. So this is all about on this second part of your project design and network analysis.